Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Jeju Forum. Under the overarching theme, Synergy for Change, Enhancing the Campus Asia Initiatives for a Better World, this session will feature expert discussions addressing the current status of the Campus Asia Initiative, potential lessons to be learned from past experiences, and opportunities for its enhancement. The Campus Asia program is an educational collaboration between China, Japan, and Korea to train a new generation of leaders of Asia with competence and thorough understanding of East Asian value and international cooperation in specialized fields. First, I would like to welcome the Trilateral Cooperation Secretariat, Secretary General Lee Hee-sup, for opening remarks. TCS is an international organization established by the governments of China, Japan, and Korea in 2011 with the vision to promote lasting peace, common prosperity, and shared culture in the region. It is also the host organization for this session in Jeju Forum. SG Lee, please come up to the podium. Please welcome him with a big round of applause.
Good afternoon. Honorable President Chang Jae-guk, Professor Fan Sheming, Professor Obi Shinosuke, Professor Kim Sun-ju, Campus Asia students and alumni, distinguished guests. I would like to extend a warm welcome and express my appreciation to everyone joining this session today. Since 2014, the TCS has actively participated in the Jeju Forum as a session organizer, contributing to this regional multilateral dialogue aimed at promoting peace and prosperity in Asia. The 9th Trilateral Summit held in Seoul just yesterday after 4.5-year hiatus, and the upcoming 4th Korea-Japan-China Education Ministers meeting in mid-June highlight the timeliness of our session. Today, we commemorate the 25th anniversary of trilateral cooperation under the theme Synergy for Change, Enhancing the Campus Asia Initiatives for a Better World. 14 years ago, here in Jeju, the leaders of China, Japan, and the Republic of Korea made a historic decision to establish the TCS, institutionalizing trilateral cooperation. Concurrently, the Campus Asia Initiative was proposed to enhance exchanges and create a higher education network among universities of 3 countries. Since then, TCS and the Campus Asia have worked closely to promote youth exchange among our 3 countries, aiming to foster peace, stability, and prosperity in East Asia and beyond. Over the course of 12 years and 3 phases of development, Campus Asia has been steadily advancing to a higher echelon. The recent inclusion of ASEAN universities marks a significant expansion, promising a broader and more diverse platform that will facilitate enhanced collaborations across various fields. Drawing inspiration from the evolution of programs such as Erasmus Plus in Europe, the future of Campus Asia holds great potential. As the TCS and Campus Asia embark on the next chapter of our collective missions, let us harness today's sessions to reflect on the endeavors undertaken and the commitments needed to promote lasting peace, common prosperity, and shared culture among our 3 countries, particularly at this pivotal juncture. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Secretary General. Next, we would like to hear a keynote speech by President Chang Jae-guk. Dr. Chang is currently president of Dongseo University in Busan, Korea, Until early this year, he served as the chairman of the Korean Council for University Education and as the president of the Korea Association of Private University Presidents. He has held positions such as chairman of the Seoul-Tokyo Forum and member of the Korea-Japan-China Higher Education Exchange Panel of Experts at the Ministry of Education and is a leading figure in the Campus Asia program. President Chang, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much for your kind introduction, and I would like to thank Secretary General Lee for inviting me to this wonderful venue today. This morning I went through the materials given by TCS, and I found out that each of the panelists this morning will have 15 minutes to talk, but I'm the only person who was given me on 10 minutes. So it's kind of unfair, when you think about it. But anyway, I'm really honored to be here today. The Campus Idea program, I forgot to do this. Campus Asia program has been instrumental in bridging universities and college students to promote and enhance mutual understanding among Korea, Japan, and China since its inception in 2011. It marked a significant milestones as the first initiative of its kind in the history of these three nations. I think there are three key contributing factors in realizing this groundbreaking initiative. Firstly, the strong leadership displayed by the top leaders served as the primary driving force behind the establishment of the program. As you see the photo over here, it was held in Beijing in 2012, and you see there President Lee Myung-bak and also Win Jiabao and Prime Minister Noda were present at the Campus Asia launching ceremony. Far to the right, second to the left is, do you recognize this person? That's me. I was that young at the time. So as you see there, all the three of the top leaders were presented at the time, and there was a launching ceremony for Campus Asia program. So the leaders of the three nations demonstrated a steadfast commitment to and belief in the importance of trilateral cooperation, aiming to create a framework that would enrich mutual understanding for the next generation. Secondly, the government of the three countries provided essential funding for the program's operation, ensuring a well-structured framework. Collaboratively, they meticulously coordinated the selection process of participating universities, incorporating detailed regulations and evaluation criteria into the program's framework. As you may recall, all the universities in three countries wanted to have this status of a Campus Asia program, so competition was really high at the time, but only selective university was selected at the time because of budget constraint, and also they were concerned about the quality control. And thirdly, the university chosen for the program demonstrated exceptional motivation and enthusiasm towards achieving the program's objectives. To uphold the quality of education and the program itself, only a limited number of universities were selected. Budgetary and constraints also factored into this selection process. However, these contributing factors can potentially impede the program's success and its ability to grow or expand or grow. In other words, they represent both sides of the coin. The power rivalry, for example, why this is already here? Yeah. So power rivalry between United States and China, alongside the intricate geopolitical dynamics among Korea, Japan, and China, could or can significantly influence the program's trajectory. The diminishing interest of top leaders who were instrumental in initiating the program further complicates the situation. And also, the heavy reliance on government funding makes it challenging for universities to engage in longer-term planning. The potential for funding discontinuity or discontinuation based on evaluation can create a risk-averse environment where university may shy away from innovative or ambitious endeavors to avoid negative feedback. This dynamic can, in turn, stifle creativity and hinder progress within the programs. Finding a balance between accountability and evaluations and fostering an environment that encourages experimentation and advancement is crucial for the sustainable growth and the development of the program. The limited number of participants in the program due to budgetary constraints can also impact its inclusivity. In contrast to Europe's Erasmus Mundus program, which benefits a larger number of students, the restricted participation in the Campus Asia program may result in only a small number of students being able to take advantage of the program. So having said that, the following are some policy recommendations to overcome the shortcomings and achieve the original goals of the program. First, despite the current political environment, the three countries should openly reaffirm the importance of the program in nurturing future generations who understand the three countries. I was very much encouraged when I heard the news that the joint statement from 9th Korea-Japan-China Trilateral Summit meeting ended 2 days ago included a mentioning of a Campus Asia program. It said, recognizing the importance of cooperation in the education sector in promoting exchanges between future generations, we appreciate the exemplary role of Campus Asia, an inter-university exchange program initiated in 2011. So far, the program garnered the participation of 15,000 university students and will actively support this project with the goal of having 30,000 students by the end of 2030. It's a very encouraging news because Campus Asia project is specifically mentioned in the statement. But when you think about it, in Korea we have 50 million people. In Japan we have more than 120 million people living there. In China, huge country, we have 1.4 billion people. So altogether, the population of these three countries combined is 1.6 billion people. So out of 1.6 billion people, we are targeting only 30,000 students by the end of 2030. It's a very limited number and very small in number. So I think we need to have expand the program, I think. But anyway, a brief mention of the program in the summit statement will certainly enhance its status. And second, it should be considered that the current annual budget system should be replaced with an endowment so that the program can be planned with a longer-term vision. Not only government contributions, but also corporate funding can also help establish the endowment. And third, in the longer term, I think the program may need to adopt the Korea, Japan, China version of Erasmus program so that more interested students can participate in the program. In this future version, any interested university can join Korea, Japan, China system, and the students will have the option to choose any university within the system for their semester abroad experience. Students may fund their participation in the program out of their own pocket or apply for scholarships from the endowment. So in conclusion, the success story of the Campus Asia program must continue. And for this purpose, and for this to happen, the program must be sustainable. Sustainability can only be ensured if the system is robust enough to withstand any internal or external challenges it may face. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the keynote speech. President Chen Jae-guk will moderate the following session, inviting 3 panelists who have long been associated with Campus Asia initiatives. Now I would like to pass on the mic to President Chang.
Thank you. I have a lot of tests to do this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this important session on Synergy for Change, enhancing the Campus Asia initiative for the better world. I'm honored to introduce our distinguished speakers for this session, each of whom brings a wealth of knowledge and experience in their respective fields. They will provide us with valuable insights into the Campus Asia initiatives. Please join me in welcoming our speakers as they share their perspectives and expertise on this crucial topic. First, I would like to ask Professor Fan Xin-Ming. Professor Feng is a professor of international relations at Beijing University and serves as the executive vice dean of Beijing University's Yanqing Academy. He has been deeply involved in the development of the Campus Asia program at Beijing University since its inception in 2011. His expertise include courses such as international history, Sino-American relations, and politics of international communication. Professor Fan's research interests span image, perception, public opinion, and communication in international relations. I think that's the most important parts in international relations. He holds BA, MA, and PhD in international politics from Beijing University and has been a visiting fellow at Harvard University and Waseda University, as well as visiting professor in Japan and Norway. I have another full-page introduction, but I will stop here for you. So, Professor Fan, you have 15 minutes to talk. You want to stay here, or
you can do it to talk
here? Okay. Okay. Floor is yours.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Professor Chang, and I think I would like to first thank the TCS for inviting me to this year's Jeju Forum, especially on Campus Asia. So I think I will talk about 3 things this afternoon. Number 1 is about the progress made in Campus Asia during the past about 12 years. And secondly, I think I will talk about the value of Campus Asia to our region, to participating universities, and especially to the participating students. And thirdly, I will also talk about the constraints or the problems in Campus Asia. So from this table, I think we got a general sense of Campus Asia program development, especially based on the data of China. So this is only the data of China. You see, so we had the pilot period, we had 2 modes after that. So altogether, in the past 12 years, from the Chinese statistics, there have been total of 7,164 students in Campus Asia student mobility, both outbound and inbound. And like Professor Zhang mentioned earlier, in the joint declaration 2 days ago, the 3 leaders in the declaration said altogether there were 15,000 students until spring 2024 in Campus Asia. So I think that is a great achievement. Some of the good practices, in my perspective, I identified 5 good practices. Number 1 is the continuous engagement and enlargement of the program, especially when we consider the backdrop of political and economic uncertainty, even with the COVID shock. But I think Campus Asia kept the momentum to enlarge and engage. Okay. And number 2 is participating universities, participating schools successfully developed course mapping, core or common courses, credit transfer, etc. Okay, which paved the way for further educational cooperation among China, Korea, and Japan. Number 3 is the long-term student exchange in Campus Asia. Many participating schools actually practice the long-term student exchanges. I think most of the participants today might be in the long-term exchange programs. And some universities developed dual degree programs. Number 4 is in some Campus Asia projects, students practice the trilateral mobility under Campus Asia framework. Not all Campus Asia programs practice the trilateral student mobility, but some of them, I think, successfully practiced trilateral student mobility. Students go to all 3 countries. Okay. Finally, I see the development in Campus Asia in the national coordination, national level coordination, and the regional level coordination. National level means participating schools in China, Korea, and Japan, they try to make some coordinated efforts, okay, within their country. And then regional cooperation means, like Mr. Lee earlier mentioned, the Trilateral Cooperation Secretariat, the TCS, has been enthusiastically involved in supporting Campus Asia, like today's conference. Okay, so that's the progress made. I think I will try to focus on the value of Campus Asia, both from a regional level, university level, and the student level. From regional level, I'd like to identify 3 things of Campus Asia for our region. Number 1, to promote regional identity and cooperation. Okay, I think in some way the Campus Asia program can be regarded as a peace builder, not just an educational program, but a peace builder. From the feedbacks, later I will mention them, we see that students, they experience the different culture, understanding regional history and identity, and think about our shared future. And even when we had political tensions and some other uncertainties, still Campus Asia sustained through those difficulties, contributing to our regional stability and convergence. For example, my university, Peking University, and the University of Tokyo, and Seoul National University, in our Campus Asia program, we developed the deans, professors, and the students 3-level dialogue all through these years. And the number 2 value for our region of Campus Asia is to explore the Asian version collaboration in higher education. Just now, Professor Zhang mentioned the Erasmus model in Europe, but I think Campus Asia is quite different. And if we have time, we can discuss that later, but I think Campus Asia can be regarded as an Asian version of higher educational cooperation. And thirdly, the regional level value for Campus Asia is that actually governments, the 3 governments in the 3 countries, practice the public diplomacy to enhance mutual understanding, especially among young people. I will not go to detail, but I will like to identify this. On university level, I identify 4 things of Campus Asia as its value. Number 1 is the legalization and the institutionalization of international cooperation among schools. I mean, of course, we had different kinds of cooperation among regional schools, among universities. But Campus Asia, I think, greatly promoted the legalization and the institutionalization of this kind of cooperation. We signed a lot of agreements, a lot of MOUs, a lot of agreements among participating universities. Number two, the institutionalization and the standardization of administrative support among participating schools. I will not go to detail, but I think this is very important. I mean, participating schools have to coordinate among each other and to on administration, I mean, everything. Okay. The third one, the sharing and the optimization of teaching resources. For example, the professors, credit transfer, and etc. Finally, connecting Campus Asia to domestic goals in some countries. Like in China, we have the Shuangyi Liu, the so-called world-class university construction, or the first-class discipline construction. And I think many universities actually connected Campus Asia to this kind of domestic goals. I think I will try to focus on the Campus Asia value, especially for the students, for participating students. I identify 5 things for participating students under Campus Asia framework. Number 1, the study experience and achievements. Number 2, employment competency. Number 3, cross-cultural understanding. Number 4, observing governance in different countries. And lastly, enhancing regional identity. I will go each of them. Number 1 is the study experience. What you see is the graph from the Chinese survey among Campus Asia students. So from this, you see how students responded to the study experience and how they believe that the Campus Asia helped to increase their abilities in different dimensions. For example, more than 50% students say that through Campus Asia program participation, they enhanced their communication skills, language skills, professional expertise, teamwork ability, and psychological adaptation in new environments. I will not, because the original thing is in Chinese, but this is my translation, okay? And then employment competency, and this is some of the data from the survey. So you see students who participated in Campus Asia enjoy some advantage, not very big, but still enjoy some advantage in job hunting, especially when they try to find a job in in East Asia. I mean, so if you participated in Campus Asia, you want to find a job maybe in Japan, Korea, and China, and then so you see the advantage in this regard. So you see more than 60% students say this is very helpful in job hunting, especially in cross country job hunting. So yeah, this is student feedback. I'm satisfied with this program and expect that more people could get information of it. I learned how to survive in a culture that I never experienced and became confident to survive in all other different countries, like in Europe, America, and even Africa. 5 months exchange experiences enabled me to understand perceptions of Japan in other countries, which should be helpful for me to work in a multinational company. Apparently, this was from a Japanese student. Yeah, I got to know about the cross-cultural understanding. Yeah, I got to know about the cultural history and politics, etc. before, but only after you have really been to that place, live there, and directly communicate with people there through class discussions, field work, etc. You become truly understand the country. Without being there personally, things will be very different because you are not really connected to that place. And some other comments on the cross-cultural understanding. I found quite some misperceptions or stereotypes, sometimes groundless, on both sides through my contact with Japanese people. This reminds us that we cannot stop at existing knowledge and should keep communicating for better understanding. It is a very important enlightenment for me in the past years' study that one has to personally experience and investigate and to keep an open and moderate attitude. It's not to comply to others, but to accommodate differences and based on that to develop one's own originality. Observing different governance for participating students. A city hall is a window to see the city, a name card, and the core place of the management of the municipality. The public space and the services it provides are the reflection of the idea of the government and its humanistic care. I mean, this is all from our investigation. Yeah, I'm sorry. And finally, nurturing regional identity. Surely there are some differences, but I found that the differences gaps among us are much smaller than what we expected, and how we share more, even when we come from 3 different countries. With increasing exchanges between China and ROK, I found a lot of similar ways of thinking and concerns between the two. I will not read this, but I think I will try to read this before I conclude. This is from a student, from a Chinese student. When I walked in the streets in Korea and Japan, I felt like it was incredible that I already spent more than 100 days and nights in the 2 countries. Campus Asia exchange was not very long, but was very significant. With a bigger vision. Okay. With a bigger vision, I got new perspectives on many issues. With broader perspectives, I learned new ideas. It is sometimes hard to express the takeaway in words, but I can feel them in my heart. I believe that the Campus Asia experiences are already deeply in my life, playing a role shaping every decision, perspective, and a way of thinking in my future life. It's just such a wonderful opportunity for me to get this kind of enlightening experiences when I'm young. I will stop here. Thank you very much.
Maybe you can talk about constraints in about 1 minute. I can give it to you. Because they will lead our panel discussion later.
Thank you. This is yours. But it doesn't matter. I will respond later.
Okay. Thank you very much, Professor Fan. He was talking about some positive sides of the program and with the values this program portrayed, and also some of the constraints he was going to talk about. But I will we will hear that later at the panel discussion session. Thank you very much. And now we have Professor Obi Shinosuke. Professor Obi is an esteemed scholar with a Bachelor and Master's of Science degree in Mechanical Engineering from Keio University in Japan, and a Doctor of Engineering degree from University of Erlangen-Nuremberg in Germany. His research interests include fluid mechanics, turbulence modeling, and computational mechanics. Professor Obi has held several international leadership positions at Keio University, including Dean of International Center and the Vice President for International Collaboration. He has also served on various committees of the Japanese Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science, and Technology, focusing on international education and scholarship programs. Professor Obi, it's yours.
Thank you very much for the very kind introduction. As you may have recognized, I am engineer by education and have very little with international relation study and so on. But I have a rich experience of developing international programs among universities. And that is the reason why I have been invited to be this place, to talk this place, and to which I very much appreciate. My talk today, I made the contents. I started with introducing various types of collaboration in higher education, and then followed by objectives, the objectives, targets, and outcomes. And I want to quickly review what is offered by Campus Asia programs, and conclude with talking about the future of the participating students, which is, I think, many of you today in this room are alumni of this Campus Asia program, as was introduced. Actually, this Campus Asia program has offered opportunity to China, South Korea, and Japan universities to establish partnerships, consortium, or membership, among others. And those are already explained by Professor Fan in very much detail, so I do not repeat too much. But this has brought a new practice to the universities of each country. Basically, the university's task is take care of the students in their own country and make it available for the society and as an asset of the society itself. And teaching international students was kind of side business for most of the universities. But as we have introduced this collaborative higher education system, the things did not, it was not that simple to just exchange the students. The universities themselves have to exchange their experiences. They have to learn about each other's system, each other's grading system, of course, curriculum, and we need to cope with the difference in the academic calendar, which was actually basically most challenging among these three countries. But anyway, this brought a fresh air to the university of each country. And there are some kind of different kinds of joint programs in the world. And as already referred many times, Europe is the kind of front runner of collaboration in the international education and higher education. And that, according to their definition, there are three types of programs which lead to the degree. Number one is joint program, international integrated curriculum, and each university provides their own degree to participating students. Joint degree is one sheet of paper, single degree issued in collaboration with two or more different number of different higher education systems. For instance, if you received a degree, a diploma at the graduation ceremony, you would see the stamp of two different universities on one paper. This is joint degree. And multiple degree is double degree or triple degree, which some of the universities participating in this Campus Asia program have already issued. So one student studied two different universities and received 2 degrees from each university. 2 degrees in total, one from each. So there are quite different types of degree program that the international higher education collaboration are looking at. And this slide is just a copy of a workshop delivered at the workshop at the European Association of International Education last year in Rotterdam, and I participated in a workshop about how to develop a joint program in master level. And okay, you do not need to read everything, but from left to right, these programs are put in the order of increasing integration or increasing elaborate by universities. And it seems that when the three countries' government introduced this joint Campus Asia program, they were looking at the rightmost thing, joint program. And it's written that it may we end up with joint degree or double degree program when the student participates in this Campus Asia program. But this is not always the case because, as I said at the beginning, each university was not really familiar with this kind of international collaboration, and it took some time to grow up all these integration. And some programs offer short-term program, like up to few weeks, or some programs offer 3 months experience, or some 1 full semester, and very few programs offer programs longer than 1 year of exchange, I think. And because this Campus Asia program is still under development, we need to pay attention that which level we are now in, and to which we should pay more attention or put more resource to develop or go to a more elaborated scheme or stay on some scheme which we are already happy with that. And all these instruments have common targets. We want to harmonize higher education system across East Asia. We are not competing, but we are collaborating. And we'd like to have outcomes focused on the cross-cultural understanding and promoting lifelong learning attitude. And as already witnessed by the comment by the participating students presented by Professor Fan, many students have already learned a lot, more than what they have originally expected, I think. And they already quite put a large impact on their lifelong attitude. And this was already part of the success of this program from student point of view. This is a survey of international Institute of International Education in US. They offer scholarship program to international students, and they made a short report, quite long report, back in 2017 to learn what study abroad program brought to a student. And I give you only one executive summaries. Most important one is study abroad has an overall positive impact, development of a wide range of 21st century job skills. That includes the competencies in the special subject, or curiosity, or critical mind, or things like that. So that all job skills were enhanced by international study. And of course, this study abroad expands career opportunities, which was also explained by Professor Fan's presentation. And these skills gained through study abroad have a long-term impact on career progression and promotion. So it was also witnessed. I think alumni of this program already experienced that probably only 3 weeks experience abroad has made a large impact on your choice of your life career. And if we compare different types of programs, longer periods of study abroad have a higher impact on subsequent job offers and development of most skills. So longer you study abroad, it brings you larger impact. This is understandable. For my case, I stayed in Germany for 5.5 years, and that almost completely changed my life and determined my position afterwards. And at last, STEM is stands for the science, technology, engineering, and math. Majority, these measures highly value the gains made in skills outside of their measures during study abroad. So there are many students of many different disciplines. It is quite understandable that the students measuring international politics, for instance, go abroad and study abroad the new things. This is quite understandable. But for the STEM major students, it's not very attractive, apparently, because for STEM, we are working in the quite universal law of mechanics, for instance, Newton's second law or things like that. which is universal. It does not change in Korea, Japan, or China. We have the same gravity acceleration of 9.81 meters per second and so on. And therefore, it does not bring much interest to STEM major students. But once they study abroad, originally, such course offer the study of such a special subject abroad, but participating students have studied other than those subjects, but they have learned much different things. Life in the city, talking to the body students in different language, and the same principle was taught in different language and different manner, different context, and those things have a lot of influence and opened up their eye after studying abroad. So, Campus Asia program, originally designed for regional culture, history, educational systems, but I assume that you have, once participated in this program, you have learned much more than you have expected. And this is actually what we would like to see by operating this kind of program. Okay, the future of the participating students. Okay, we have, as I said, expected participating in this Campus Asia program offers participating students a promising future equipped with cross-cultural competencies, lifelong learning attitude, global perspective, which are essential for success in an increasingly interconnected world. So what is success, actually? Do you want to be rich? Or do you want to make more friends? Or do you want to live in a paradise like Hawaii or somewhere? So what is your success? So success cannot be seen easily. You see your own success only internally. And all this kind of growth can be offered only when the students have their proactive attitude of learning. You know, even though we offer very dedicated, sophisticated learning programs, which does not influence anyone if they do not have proactive mind of learning, okay? So this Campus Asia experience, I'm sure that they brought you already proactive attitude of learning things, looking at the things from different angle and so on. So this is actually the most wanted perspective outcome of the Campus Asia program. And I'm sure most of you have already experienced. And our aim is expand it or develop it or keep it steady as much as possible. So this was my conclusion of my talk, and I still have left more than 1.5 minutes. Thank you very much for your attention.
So you saved the 2 minutes. Thank you very much. Professor Ovi was explaining very clearly about the different types of international university collaborations, and also some of the advantages of participating in international programs, also study abroad programs. Thank you very much. Now, lastly, we are joined by Professor Kim Sun-ju. Dr. Kim is an associate professor at the College of Future and the Convergence and vice provost for the Office of Strategic Planning at Pugyong National University in Busan, Korea. She has played a pivotal role as a resource person in qualifications, recognition, and implementing the 2011 Tokyo Convention. Dr. Kim has also contributed significantly to developing, implementing, and evaluating the Campus Asia program in Korea from 2012 to 2018. Her research interests include international cooperation in higher education, performance management of public institutions, and program evaluation. Next, Professor Kim, the floor is yours.
Thank you. It's very nice to meet you. I'm Sun-ju Kim from Pugyong National University in Busan, Korea. It's my great pleasure to have you in the audience in this beautiful island, Jeju Island. And I would like to share some of my great experiences related to Campus Asia development. My presentation will mostly cover some study results when I conducted 2 years ago, the Korean government at that moment tried to develop this program, how particularly focusing on how we can expand this program to ASEAN countries. And we have to review some performance over 10 years Campus Asia program, and we have to learn from some consortiums' experiences and perspectives. Okay, yes, so thank you. Yeah, I would like to briefly introduce the background of the Campus Asia program. In fact, I was one of the founding members of Campus Asia. It's designed conceptually through the third Trilateral Summit in 2010. As you may know, 3 presidents from 3 countries, Korea, Japan, and China, agreed on the international education exchange in the Northeast Asian region. It's not only for 3 countries. They already focused on the wider region, like Northeast Asia or ASEAN countries. And they decide to select 10 consortiums in order to implement a pilot project of Campus Asia program from 2012 to 2015. As you may know, the goal was to cultivate innovative talents through this educational cooperation among the 3 countries. And after the pilot project in 2016, finally, we launched the full-fledged Campus Asia programs consisting of 17 consortiums. In 2021, we launched the bigger one, Campus Asia Plus program. I have a short quiz. Have you ever thought about the acronym of Campus Asia? Do you know what the acronym means? No. Yeah. C means collective, A, action, 4, mobility, P, program, of U, university, as students in Asia. It has very big meaning. It's not generally campus. Okay, I will give you a quiz at the end of my presentation. Please remember it. Until now, you can see the numbers of students who participate in this program. The statistics come from Korean government. Roughly, it's around 10,000 students. It depends on how each government counts the numbers of the students. So in Korea, we have around 10,000 students who joined this program over 10 years. This is from the Japanese government. The total numbers of the students are 12,000. So we have inbound, outbound students among the 3 countries. Now we have Campus Asia plus 20 consortiums. This is very tiny, but I hope you can find your consortium. This includes very top-tier universities, as you may know, and we fairly selected diverse university from all each countries, I think. So that there is a big consortium where sometimes we selected a small university who has a great consortium plan. This is my study. Our team conducted the study on expansion of the Trilateral Campus Asia program. The purpose of the study was to examine the performance and accomplishment of the Campus Asia program over 10 years and also aim to explore the ways how to build Asian higher education community through the expansion of the Campus Asia program. We focused on analysis of the Erasmus Mundus Joint Masters program, and we analyzed the Campus Asia program from the Korean project manager's perspective, which is called PM. So we interviewed 17 PMs from 17 consortia joining from 2011 to 2021. Also, we collected the data from the students. We surveyed 229 students. We found out the overall achievement of the Campus Asia program. This program definitely contributed to establishing and developing joint dual degrees and also internship programs. We just interviewed Korean PMs, and particularly Korean ministry focused on developing internship programs for the students coming from China and Japan. So this was one of the best, I think, achievement. The second was this program helped develop a competitive edge on the world stage for each consortia. They have their own academic areas, and this program is open their field to share or conduct research together with other universities, even outside the Asian countries. Also, this program is strictly kind of regulating equal numbers of student exchanges. So even backdrop of uncertainty, sometimes political issues hindered student exchanges, but still there is quite equal numbers of students exchanged. Also, this program helped universities sustain their programs beyond the financial support. This is the achievement from the university's perspective. I would like to briefly introduce some consortium. The KAIST consortium, for example, they conducted collaborative research, and final research result was published in the top journals. So the students and professors conducted the research and published in the top tier journals. Another example includes Korea National University of Arts Consortium. Building joint or dual degree regulations is not an easy task because every university has its own system, and then this regulation requires a lot of efforts to collaborate together. But this university firstly established the joint degree regulation in 2016, and finally in 2019, they awarded joint dual degree within this program. Another one is Dongseo University Consortium. They developed a very differentiated and unique international higher education model. The students from 3 countries rotate through three countries and live together for 10 weeks. And at the end of the program, almost all students mastered 3 languages and even English. So they learned so many things from this program. And Busan National University Energy and Environment Consortium, they established the largest dual joint degrees program in the world. And now they started joint doctoral program. This is, I think, a great performance and achievement. Another one is Korea National University of Arts Consortium. They expanded this exchange program beyond 3 countries. This program is open to the students from European countries, European universities. So we can see European students in the Campus Asia program in this consortium. The next one is the performance or achievement from the student's perspective. Yeah, one of the most impressive things, many students has great experiences to expand their research opportunities and research skills. And also they can build some global citizenship competency, and many students talk about their global friendship. They started this program. When they start this program, they call their friends like, oh, this is my Chinese friend, or this is my Japanese friend. But at the end of the program, they just say, this is my friend. So they use the term, we build global friendship throughout this program. From the department's perspective, this program provides a great opportunity to build an operational system at a departmental level. Also, this program contributed to improving the reputation and quality of Korean, Japanese, and Chinese universities. That was very brief result of analysis from my study, and the research team found these implications. This is more like how we expand this program, Campus Asia program. Okay, I have 3 minutes left. Yes, in order to expand this Campus Asia program, we have to set up more clarified evaluation criteria. There are 2 types of evaluation criteria, like quantitative and qualitative metrics. But anyway, we have to set up a goal to be reached. So in order to expand this program, 3 governments or operating institutions have to conclude the evaluation criteria, particularly for enhancing the quality of this program. The final one, industry, academia, collaboration outcomes. Within the evaluation criteria, probably each consortia provided some plan how they can expand industry academia partnership, including student internships or co-entrepreneurship clubs, etc. within the program. I'm pretty sure the Campus Asia has a good student network and alumni association, particularly implemented by the TCS, but it should be more strengthened, I think. The other one is this program should focus more on academic and industry partnership, which lead to students' employability skills. Okay. This is some ideas drawn from the study. When we designed the Campus Asia Plus program, 3 countries have to think about several things, because the government wanted to invite the ASEAN universities, which means we exchange together with ASEAN students. So the first thing, flexibility was very important, which means the policy should encourage each consortium diversify their programs. So some consortium can focus on exchange incentive, or other consortiums can focus on research-intensive courses. In order to enhance the flexibility, every consortium was encouraged to designate a coordinator university with the consortium. I'm pretty sure this will be very helpful for strengthening ongoing collaboration with partner universities. Inviting ASEAN universities, the government, particularly the Korean government, asked the consortia to expand the short-term exchanges. Short-term exchanges like a summer camp or summer school, very short-term programs. Also, the Korean government tried to embrace unbalanced engagement with ASEAN universities. Okay, 네. Yes, I have two. Yes, the nationalities of participating students should be wider and open to many other countries beyond the 3 countries. Yes, this is my conclusion. The Erasmus program teaches us how cultural competency and problem-solving skills can be nurtured through these exchange programs. So we should pay attention to Erasmus accomplishment. And Campus Asia Plus program would be beneficial to build the ASEAN higher education area. I'm not sure you're familiar with AHEA. As you may know, Erasmus program is under the policy European higher education area. So in the long term, we have to think about ASEAN higher education area. The final thing, we have to think about the partnership among the governments, universities, organizations. Which organizations? Yes, industry or public institutions. I hope they join this program with some financial support or any activities who can contribute it to building students' employability and international competencies. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Professor Kim, for your nice presentation. Professor Kim touched upon the history of Campus Asia, and also she explained very clearly about overall achievement of Campus Asia based on performance analysis. Before joining Pugyong National University in Busan, she was working for Korean Council for University Education, who is the evaluation body of Campus Asia program. So whenever she was around on campus, she gave us a lot of headache because we had to be reviewed by her. Anyway, that concludes our presentation by 3 of us. Then let's move on to the panel discussions. I think we have about 25 minutes to talk about different topics. But let me do this way. I will give each of you main question, and then after responding to my question, then you can add on. The rest of you can add on some comments if you have some. So my first question is going to Professor Fan. Because of your limited time, you didn't have a chance to talk about the constraints of the program, but please explain about the constraints first. Then I fully agree, after reading your presentation material, I fully agree with you. But I also highlighted some of the constraints of the program in my presentation myself. So my question is to you is, how can we overcome these constraints? If you have any suggestions, please first explain about constraints and then talk about how to overcome these constraints.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Zhang. Yes, I do see. I think mostly I will focus on the progress, all the positive development in Campus Asia. Of course, that is the main thing. But I also see some constraints on the Campus Asia program, and from my personal observation, I see 4 constraints in Campus Asia. Number one is imbalanced student mobility, which means, of course, we have different ways of counting the student numbers in the mobility, but overall, I think China, from the Chinese side, the outbound students, the number of the outbound students actually is more than the inbound students from Japan and Korea. So this is number one, especially from Japan. I think Japanese students lack of the motivation to participate in Campus Asia, going abroad, studying abroad, this kind of thing. So how to encourage the Japanese students to be more enthusiastic in this program. And number two is the constraint from different educational systems in the 3 countries. I think in past more than 10 years, Professor King and Professor Obi, I think we all see sometimes the cooperation might be constrained by, for example, different lengths, different period of study in different universities, or different requirements on thesis, dissertations, etc. So you have to make a lot of coordination and reconciliation among participating schools. Otherwise, it's very difficult to progress. Okay, so you have to reconcile. And number 3, as a constraint, might be the unstable and inflexible financial support, especially from governments. I think Professor Zhang and other professors all mentioned this. I think we witnessed the changes and the uncertainty in official support. The good thing is, in the joint declaration, this year, the three governments, the 3 leaders, are very committed to the program, but we want to see the following support, the following measures from other ministries in 3 countries to solve this problem. And Professor Zhang also mentioned maybe we can also consider maybe some private support or endowment, Professor Obi. So I think everything is about this kind of financial support. Without continuous, stable financial support, the sustainability of Campus Asia, not let alone the enlargement and the double of the numbers, but I think how to make it sustained. Is a problem. So financial support, government commitment. And number 4, as mentioned by Professor Kim, is the problem in the Campus Asia Plus now. Now we are engaging ASEA universities, ASEA schools to participate in Campus Asia. That's very good. I fully support that the participating students, participating schools should be diversified, okay? But on the other hand, you see the ASEA schools, the ASEA students are not very much supported by their governments. The Campus Asia program, as illustrated by all professors, actually is a government-initiated, a government support program in China, Japan, and Korea. However, for ASEA schools, I think they did not get the very strong governmental commitment to the student mobility, and they also face the financial problems. So but without this kind of this political and financial support, it's very difficult for students of ASEAN countries to join this mobility. So I think we have to think of how to better engage ASEAN universities, ASEAN schools, and how to encourage ASEAN, the individual ASEAN government or the ASEAN as a whole, a collective as a whole, to to be part of Campus Asia. So these are the constraints in my perspective. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Fang. Professor Fang was also talking about the unstable and inflexible financial situation of the program, and Professor Obi, you mentioned about gave us idea that some corporations can also contribute financially to this program. So, but how feasible is that? The Japanese companies, in fact, I don't know whether they were willing to contribute financially to this kind of a project.
Well, actually, commitment of Japanese industry is quite diverse. You may know that there is a mixed is the Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science, and Technology of Japan is leading a study abroad program. In Japanese is tobitate ryugaku. Tobitateなんだっけ? Tobitate. This is operated by the funding established by private donations. Leading industries, corporates, and Japanese companies, they put money together, and the Ministry of Education operates the system according using all this support. So Japanese industries are not that bad, not that bad. They have commitment when the scheme is well designed and well developed, I think.
Also, Professor Fang was talking about different educational systems that can hinder the performance of this Campus Asia program. So, Professor Kim, you've been studying about these differences in education system among the participating universities. What are the main obstacles you can explain?
I think it's a semester system. Yeah, in China, in Korea, the semester starts in March, but Japan starts in April. So as a student, if I were ready for the Japanese university, I have to wait 1 month to join the program, which is a big challenge. I know all the consortium try to develop very diverse alternatives to cover this problem, but anyway, it's still a barrier we have to. I don't think we can change it, but it's a big challenge still we face. Another one is nowadays we have a good online curriculum, but in order to get dual or joint degrees, physically the students have to stay in a certain country. Yeah, for example, for a Japanese university, as undergrad students, I have to study 2 years, stay there physically 2 years. So it's quite challenging to study 2 years in a Japanese university as a Korean or Chinese students. So there's some still challenges we have to face. I think that's the two most difficult things.
I think Japan and Korea is the only countries in the world that the new semester starts in March and in April. So in China, you start in September, right? New semester.
New semester we start from September. Yes.
September. So a lot of American universities, even if they want to send the students to Korea, Japan, they are facing these kind of problems, I think. The next question goes to Professor Obi. Professor Fan was mentioning about Japanese students tend to be kind of inward-looking, and not many of them wants to study abroad. I think the tendency is similar in Korea nowadays. After before the COVID-19, a lot of Korean students, they are very motivated to go abroad and study, but after COVID-19, students just want to stay home. So is there any way to encourage them to participate more actively in international programs?
Thank you for the question. Actually, this question is one of the most serious one among Japanese university students. But there are many different ways to overcome this. Basically, for Japanese students' attitude not quite positive going abroad during their study has something to do with a very unique Japanese job hunting habit. Japanese industries, companies, they start kind of hiring campaign already more than a year before the students finish their study, which means sometime in the third year, and the students start to worry about where they get a job, good job after graduation. And these companies give kind of opportunities for the students to experience the part of the job, like internship, and students do not want to miss that opportunity. And if they go abroad in the summer vacation, the third year, they are afraid that they will be out of this path. And this is number one motivation, number one reason for Japanese students to not want to go abroad, even for some weeks. And those students who go abroad, they do not care about their immediate future. They want to experience rich one more and look for the future in the long term. And these students can be nurtured a bit easier for the university to introduce international program. And in order to increase such students, we offer a short-term program in the beginning of university program. In the first year, second year, we bring them to a week or up to 3 weeks of short-term study abroad program and let them work together with the local students. And that change their mind. They will look at something different is occurring outside Japan. Maybe I can do this better than another one. Then some of these students plan long-term study exchange for 1 semester or 1 year during their university study, or even go abroad for graduate school study. And we need to motivate the students at very early period of university study. That is one solution. Another one is to forbid the companies to contact the students during their study. That is very difficult in Japan, but anyway, that is one particular reason for Japanese students, I think.
I see. We have similar tendencies in Korea as well. So can you, Professor Kim, explain about the situation in Korea and also how to overcome this problem?
I think that's a very complicated question to answer. After COVID-19, I think many students are more reluctant to go abroad, particularly at my university. They can satisfy themselves online, throughout SNS or YouTube, etc. They don't feel like, I want to study abroad. I can enjoy their culture, or I would like to travel abroad. That's very okay. But if I have to study there, let me think about it. Yeah, I think that's our students' attitude. So in order to motivate themselves to study abroad, we need a very multi-dimensional efforts. Particularly for the freshman students, we have to provide good short experiences about going abroad, particularly for studies or small project, which means many universities have to develop non-curricular programs, which provide good opportunities for the students' experiences, very different fun activities throughout going abroad activities. Another one is maybe, yes, I'm not sure if it certainly works, but we can include their study abroad experiences in the transcript or graduation certificate with more details. And when they apply for a company, maybe the company's HR can appreciate their experiences. So I think that's the way we can try.
Yeah. Professor Fang, can you share us situation in China with us? I think Chinese students are very active.
Yes, I think from my personal experiences in past 10 years, Chinese students actually are quite enthusiastic, studying abroad, participating in Campus Asia. But I think, I believe that the similar situation in Japan and Korea might emerge in future China. I personally expect that when the outside environment become kind of uncertain and unstable, and when the younger generation enjoy, as you mentioned, enjoying domestic life, enjoying those domestic comfortable things. I also, envision the possibility maybe in the future. So this is what we have to think about. But I want to make a response to the Professor Kim mentioned. I think short-term tourism and cultural experiences are very different from Campus Asia. Campus Asia, we encourage this more deep experience, long-time, deep level experience in another country, which you cannot get from short-term visit or tourism. And Campus Asia provide participants the lifetime network. So this is something you don't get from tourism. So that's why I still encourage the young people, young students, to establish your own, cross-cultural network. This is very helpful. I think, of course, when Professor Obi and Professor Kim mentioned, why Japanese or Korean students are not going abroad. I think it's how to say, participating in Campus Asia is not just about coursework. It's not just about your professional growth, professional expertise. It's also about, the personal growth, cultural experiences, especially cross-cultural empathy. I emphasize very much cross-cultural empathy, from which, you can, from this Campus Asia that students can get. This is different from just the coursework or your professional ability, those kind of things. This is, as a regional or global citizen, I think this is very important. The cross-cultural communication, cross-cultural empathy. So this is my comment.
Yeah, I think we have a lot of alumni of Campus Asia program here today, and I think the Campus Asia program itself can be a motivation for students, but Campus Asia program is quite unknown on campus nowadays because only limited number of students are participating in the program, so it's not widely known. So I think we need to publicize the existence of Campus Asia program more broadly, so that more universities can participate and to this program. Then I think they can motivate students to participate in this program. We have only 8 more minutes, so I have a final question to Professor Kim. In your presentation, you mentioned about the expansion of a Campus Asia program by incorporating ASEAN universities, and you mentioned about some of the problems as well. And while I believe this is a step in the right direction for sure, because in terms of inclusiveness, there is also concern that expanding the program beyond Korea, Japan, and China, while the trilateral program is still in the early stage, might be premature. There is a saying, people are saying, expressing their concern about that. What are your thoughts about this?
Yes, I think you are partly correct. I know it's a premature stage expanding this program to ASEAN countries. But I think all the ASEAN countries are community members, and this program will be a great opportunity to provide a kind of community empowerment moment. Yeah, communities are people who shares common interest, common concerns, or common identity. They are not spaciously connected all the time, but I think in ASEA we live together within one community called Asia. So as for building community empowerment for particularly younger people, this is a premature moment, but still we have to develop or explore much more opportunities to develop this program, I think. Also, intercultural competence is very important for the younger people. That's the ability to think, act, communicate appropriately with different people. So I know they have a great chance to explore other cultures throughout the SNS or online, but still they have to meet physically together and talk to each other within a certain space. I think the universities is the very, very functional, effective space to build this intercultural competence, particularly while studying their interest. Yeah.
Thank you. Professor Fan, what's your opinion? You also mentioned about the limitations of ASEAN participation in the program. And the countries in ASEAN, I don't know what kind of commitment they are showing to us for the successful implementation of the program.
As far as I know, we have not got a very clear message from ASEAN country governments on Campus Asia. But the universities in China, Japan, and Korea are engaging their ASEAN partners in different consortia. So I expect maybe because we have the ASEAN +3 mechanism, right? So I think maybe next year or this year, when the ASEAN summit, ASEAN +3 summit is held, maybe this topic can be one of the topics for the ASEAN +3 leaders, and that might be a good beginning to push ASEAN countries in this process. Yeah.
So are the ASEAN countries also contributing some funding for this program, or is all coming from 3 countries?
I think
do you know?
No. As far as I know, no. No. Yeah, I think now the China, Japan, and the Korean universities are trying to help the ASEAN students in the program.
Professor Obi, you have something to add?
Yes, this basically it is good to expand the target to outside the 3 countries, but I'm not very optimistic about this idea. One reason is that this Campus Asia program, this operates among 3 universities in 3 countries, but this one particular program is only for these 3 universities. They are not open to others. And if we compare this to the European Erasmus program, they are operating in very different style. They offer one master program with 3 universities in 3 different countries, but this is open to the world. Even Japanese, Korean, Chinese students can apply for the same condition, scholarship, study contents and everything, degree and everything. And we haven't done this in Campus Asia. So if we simply extrapolate what Erasmus program was extended to Erasmus Mundus program, Erasmus Plus program, this Campus Asia program should be, if we follow the same path, we need first to open this consortium to the students from other countries or other universities in this region to apply for this program. And I think we are not ready for that. Some consortia already give the degree-seeking program. That can be done with admission, degree program, and curriculum. These are all one set, but most of the programs in Campus Asia are still kind of exchange-based program, not complete degree pursuing program. So therefore, I think it's good. Idea is good, yeah. But difficult, I think.
Yeah. Okay. I wish we could. We had more time to talk about many different issues, and also I wanted to actually open up our discussion to the floor because we have so many members of Campus Asia here today. But since we don't have time, we cannot do that. So thank you very much for your insightful presentation and also the comments. I really appreciate your participation. So this will conclude this session of study panel. Thank you very much.
Thank you. If the students have questions, do you mind if we send through email? Would that be okay? I think many people might have been curious about many things because it's very related to their life and their study. Thank you again. Please give another big round of applause to our moderator and 3 panelists. Thank you very much. With this, we would like to conclude the session of Synergy for Change, Enhancing the Campus Asia Initiatives for a Better World. For the students, please go back to the lobby with the TCS staff. And for our guests, we would like to guide you separately. Thank you.